What is going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Comment and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or your drops. Appreciate it. Coming back, share this out, do all the good stuff. Use the SeatGeek code, $20 off your entire order with the promo code Big Blue in the Bronx. So, another Roster Bubble Series video. We're doing plenty of these. This series is about players that may or may not make the final roster, the final 53, because of one thing or another. And we talk about that in these types of videos. So definitely hit the like button, share out, do all the good stuff. So today's candidate is going to be one by the name of Jashaun Corbin. And real quickly, I just always shout him out. Maybe he's in the chat for this one, or he's doing something, or he's watching this video. I always like to shout out his cousin, Tony, because I actually met his cousin from England, believe it or not, at training camp in 2023, and we had a conversation, all that sort of good stuff, and we keep in contact from time to time. So shout-outs to Tony. Hope Jashaun is doing well. Hope your family's doing well, too. But anyway, let's get right into it. So Jashaun Corbin, I really liked him coming out of Florida State. Had a 91-yard run against my Notre Dame in 2021, but he came out in 2022 as an undrafted free agent. And for years now, I've always been looking at the Giants like they need a speedster in the backfield aside from Saquon Barkley, aside from this guy. And I really didn't like the Eric Gray draft pick. So Jashaun Corbin, last year was that kind of guy for me, the saving grace. He also was that guy in 2022 when you had Matt Breida there. Obviously, the Giants have now re-signed him. It's going to look like a different backfield. And all these other guys that they had in the building, too. They also had Antonio Williams. But he was a really good back at Florida State, and then he was Texas A&M beforehand. But in training camp, he did decent. He had some nice burst on a kickoff return against the New England Patriots in the first game of the preseason in 2022. But he was placed on the Giants practice squad for the entire 2022 season. They didn't need him at all. So we go over to 2023. And again, similar backfield look. They draft Eric Gray. They have Brightwell. Saquon Barkley's there. Matt Breida. So there's really no room for him to make the roster. Now, in the preseason, he rushed 16 times, 51 yards, a touchdown. Mathematically, let's take a look at that. That's about 3.1 yards per carry. So statistically not great. But, you got to look at those runs. Was it bad O-line played this out in the third? And 6 catches for 30 yards out of the backfield. Solid receiver out of the backfield. I can say that much from watching him in the 2 preseasons, all these other different things. And what's weird to me is if he didn't have a good rushing game, he'd have a good receiving game. If he didn't have a good receiving game, he'd have a good rushing game. But he also played a little bit with the Giants in 2023, 6 games total. I remember he played a little against the Jets, 3 carries, 12 yards, 1 first down, 4 yards per carry, and that's pretty much about it. Nothing in terms of the receiving game that I could see. Actually, yeah, he did get something in the receiving game. Actually, scratch that. 3 receptions, 12 yards in the receiving game. In the rushing game, 1 rush for 1 yard. So that's that. But what is his competition going to look like? To me, it's going to come down to 2 guys. One who many Giant fans will think is a lock to make the roster. Some Giant fans may disagree. That's Eric Gray, the draft pick out of Oklahoma from last year. And he had a solid rookie season. That's probably the best way you could put it. Didn't get a lot of carries, 17 carries, 48 yards. Success rate in terms of running through 35.3, 2.8 yards per carry. Not great, 2 first downs. So the Giants hope that he's going to have a sense of burst with this new O-line. Decent out of the backfield. I would like to think Jashaun Corbin's a better backfield receiver. So you have him, Eric Gray, who also wasn't great on specials. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then you have a total unproven commodity in Dante Miller, who was with Columbia between 2018 and 2021. 2022, he's with South Carolina. Then for some reason, there's an eligibility issue, and he's not allowed to declare. Then he declares, undrafted free agent in 24, and the Giants sign him on the 5th of April. Or whatever happened there, but he could not sign with a team in 2023. And his nickname is Little Turbo. So I would like to think, hey, that means something good, that he's got speed, he's got turbo power, all that sort of good stuff. Anyway, Dante Miller, speedster. Now, how can Jashaun Corbin win a spot on the roster? My number one thing that sticks out to me is this. We're going to talk about this a lot in the next few weeks. The new kick return rule. For many of you who don't know, there's a new kick return rule that none of the special teams of the opposition can touch, let's just say the guy is blocking for him, until that returner catches the ball. Now, a lot of people think it's catered to the defense of the special teams. A lot of people think it's catered to the offense, to where the returner has more room. The XFL or the UFL or one of those independent football leagues have actually tried this out. And the returner is proven to be a little bit more favored in this scenario. Now, why do I bring that up? Because Jashaun Corbin has been in the kick return duties on special teams the last 2 training camps, the last 2 preseasons. And the Giants have a crowded room right now compared to other seasons in the past, to where, oh my God, this room's awful, to where now it's Isaiah McKenzie you could add to that list, Gunnar Olszewski you could add to that list. So Jashaun Corbin's going to need a little bit of burst on special teams, and even just, tackling or doing something on special teams is going to help him make the roster in general. And then rushes efficiently, asset out of the backfield. I'd like to see a boost in his numbers, his yards per carry. We'll see how he does with the alternate O-lines. But even if it's not great there, I would like to see him be an asset out of the backfield as a pass catcher. I know Davis Webb used him in 2023. I know Tommy DeVito used him. So maybe he could be that guy for either Drew Lock, Nathan Rourke, or Tommy DeVito. How can he lose? Failed opportunity with the new kick return rule. Does not stick out as a rusher or asset in the passing game. Drops turnovers. To me, drops turnovers would be one of the bigger blows, especially for the fact that he's not guaranteed to make the roster, that you got 1, 2, maybe even 3 guys that are more guaranteed right now. You got Singletary, you got Tyrone Tracy, and Eric Gray, who's that other guy as well, which would leave, 2 guys on the end. But again, if you want to consider Gray a roster bubble guy, you may not, whatever. Do as you want to. But I think him sticking out on specials, especially with this new scheme that Michael Gobriel, I think his name is Gobes or something like that, that's the nickname they call him. Michael Gobriel has come over from the Jets. They had a pretty good special teams unit, so maybe he's taking some stuff from over there, and he's implementing a new special teams unit and scheme and all that sort of stuff. And it's not like, oh, he's coming over from this, that, and the other thing. We're not going to hear any bullshit anymore about, oh, it's the wind. The Jets play in the same stadium as the New York Giants. Therefore, Michael Gobriel knows what's going on. But that's more for kickers and punters. But Michael Gobriel, again, new scheme, new set of players. The Giants haven't had a good special teams unit in a long time. Michael Gobriel will need to know, okay, this guy works for this place, this guy doesn't work at all, so on and so forth. My opinion, Jashaun Corbin is going to need special teams to highly boost his roster status. And again, I would like him to be a little more of an efficient rusher, and he's always there as an asset in the passing game. So how can he win new kick return rule? Rushes efficiently, asset of the backfield. How can he lose? Failed opportunity with the new kick return rule. Does not stick out as a rusher or asset in the passing game, and drops and turnovers. To me, unfortunately, I think Jashaun Corbin's going to get cut. I think there's way too many backs. Now, maybe if it was last year and Brightwell goes on the IR like he has already, then you could talk about it a little bit. But I think they want to give Gray a second chance. Not that he's any good on special teams, but as a second back, Tyrone Tracy, the guy they drafted from Purdue, and Devin Singletary, the primary back. And I don't think the Giants are really going to go ahead and keep 4 running backs. But if they do, I might want to give the advantage right now to Jashaun Corbin over Dante Miller. But again, we'll have to see what training camp and the preseason brings. Like, comment, subscribe, folks. Turn on post notifications so you know when live stream Pop Zero drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. We got plenty more of these coming up. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.